Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be in this beautiful world around us. It's good to be with you today. I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, and I realized that I have been doing these meditations for well over a year now. And this group that regularly shows up has been meditating together for over a year now. It's actually quite an exciting time to look back and see how much progress we've made as a group. Perhaps thinking about your own journey and the progress that you've made in your meditation as you've engaged every week or every month, whatever is true for you. And as we continue to deepen our practice together, I thought today might be a good time to talk a little bit about the three categories of experiences that you can have in meditation. They are movement, sleep, and transcendence. And as the mind settles in meditation, what you may start to notice or have noticed is that stress begins to be released. And this can cause all kinds of movement, specifically in the mind. We'll start there. So when you have movement of the mind, this would include lots of thoughts that come pouring in while you're sitting in meditation, trying to get yourself settled and peaceful. You might see colors, which I know we've heard, or perhaps visions. These are all a natural part of meditation. The second type of movement is a movement of the body, and that might include some physical sensations like you might feel warmer or you might feel cooler during meditation. Perhaps you have some tingling or some twitching. I know I had a big twitch during meditation this week, which sort of woke me up. And so with thoughts, there isn't really a correlation between the thought and the source of the stress, but with the physical movements of the body, there is typically a correlation. So if you have a twitch in the leg or in the shoulder, or you cough, for example, then that's releasing something in that part of the body that needs to be released. And so we've talked a little bit about this before. With any sort of physical sensation, you can choose to ignore it. You can explore it, which simply means noticing how the sensation feels or what's coming up for you emotionally, and just staying present with that. And then the third option is to move if you want to adjust or shift your body to relieve any tension or any pain. Then the movement of emotions, that's the third one. And that can happen quite often in deep relaxation because you will often, once you settle and once you're in stillness, some things will then surface while you give yourself space to allow those things to come up. And instead of trying to figure out the cause of the emotion or build a story around it, if you just sit with the emotion and allow it to move through you, as we talked about in past meditations, emotions don't stay that long. They're like clouds in the sky. So if you just allow yourself to experience them, they will typically move through you. It's only when we attach a story or some kind of meaning behind the emotion that we cause suffering for ourselves. Okay, so the second kind of experience that you might have or have had in meditation is sleep. And sleep can be your head bobbing up and down, or it can be just having your head hang at some point while you're meditating. And even though it can feel like you're asleep, you are most likely in just a state of deep relaxation, which the body is not used to when you're not used to meditating or when you're awake because you're so consumed by all the things that you have to do and the distractions of life. So if you do fall asleep and you really have that dull awareness, it just means that your body needs the time to relax, to let go, and it really is tired. So just take the opportunity to rest. My meditation teacher, Sarah, also says, if you do fall asleep in your meditations, just take a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes at the end, to extend your meditation and to finish. the final experience that you can have in meditation, and I've talked a little bit about this in the past too, is transcendence. And with transcendence, you are alert, but you're relaxed and you're slightly aware, but you're not aware of anything in particular. So I like to think of the difference between transcendence and sleep is that awareness. So if you were closing your eyes in a state of meditation and you could hear somebody coming into the room, then you would be in a more of a transcendent state. Whereas if you were asleep in an adult state of awareness, somebody could walk into the room and you wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't even know that they're there. So sometimes this transcendence can only last a second or two. And it can happen so quickly that you may even not even notice that it happened. So in this state, it really is moving beyond the here and now, the sensory experience of being in the body, the sights and the sounds and the feelings, to essentially become one with that, which is consciousness or the field of awareness. Some people describe it that way because when you're in that place, you've transcended all time and space. You're really out there in a different dimension. And the last thing that I'll say about transcendence is that even when you try really hard to make it happen, it doesn't happen. It really just happens on its own. It's a natural part of meditation that occurs naturally when you're meditating. So it's a natural part that occurs naturally. So let's see what kind of experience we have today in meditation. We're going to practice something called the S.E.E.D meditation, which is the simple, easy, everyday meditation. It's a collection of small practices that are woven together in one particular meditation. And we'll begin shortly with a mindful body scan or mindful body awareness practice. We'll move into a heart-centered breath, then move into self-inquiry and then a breath awareness practice before ending on a silent mantra practice. So those are all of the S.E.E.D practices today. And they just flow kind of effortlessly through the meditation. And as you enter meditation today, remember it is okay to have thoughts. Don't try too hard to have a certain experience. Just tune in to what is here for you today. Let go of your expectations and just allow everything to be as it is without any judgment. Of course, be kind to yourself and stick with the practice. Even if you find today you're all over the place, your mind is telling you stories, your body's twitching, whatever happens, welcome it. Okay, we'll meditate for about 20 minutes. I will keep track of the time as always, and we'll begin. Go ahead and get yourself into a comfortable position that suits you and that allows you to arrive, to feel comfortable and supported. It allows you to be both present and alert, allows you to be aware of what's going on inside of you. And you might begin today by deepening the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And letting your body know it's okay to relax. It's okay to be here, to be with you, yourself, in stillness. Allowing your belly to be soft and receptive. Perhaps releasing your shoulders. There's nowhere to go. There's no place to be. nothing to do or strive for. Simply be here and now. And if it hasn't already, allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm and depth. Throughout this practice today, you'll be breathing naturally, ideally through your nose. And we'll begin with a short mindful body awareness practice, scanning the body from head to toe, noticing with a mindful awareness what's happening for you today as you sit in stillness. No judgment or labels, simply allowing and being with what is. Beginning with the top of your head, noticing the sensations that are present here. Perhaps you feel a warmth or coolness, tingling, nothing at all. Whatever you feel is normal and natural. And welcoming everything as you begin to bring your attention to your brows and your eyes, relaxing the creases at the corners of your eyes. There's nothing to figure out. Softening your entire face. Noticing the sensations in your jaw or your ears, in and around your nose, in and inside of and around your mouth. Welcoming everything, resisting nothing. And if you ever notice your attention wandering, perhaps to an idea or to a plan, come back here to the body. Tucking your chin now and slightly, perhaps allowing the neck to lengthen. Lowering the shoulders again and softening the throat. Noticing the way the arms hang comfortably at your sides or rest in your lap. Perhaps the way the clothing is draped over your skin. Or the feel of your hands resting in each other. Noticing the support beneath you. The way the chair or the cushion might hold your weight. Tuning in to the contact between you and the seat beneath you. Any other contact points between the back of the seat and your back, the floor. Tuning in to the backs of the thighs on the seat beneath you, supported perhaps by your calves and feet. Noticing your spine reaching from your tailbone all the way, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to your neck. Softening any tension in the mid to upper back. Moving back down the spine to the hips, into the thighs and the knees. Releasing any residual tension as you move to the calves and down to the feet. And becoming now aware of the movement of the body as the breath enters your nostrils, moves into the belly and the lungs, and then leaves your body through the nostrils. And becoming curious about the sensations within the body. Noticing where you might feel any tingling, any resistance. Perhaps any release. A newfound awareness. Welcoming everything that is here for you as you sit within sensations of the body and rest in this place for a moment or two. Bringing your attention now to the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the area behind your breastbone. Perhaps thinking of it as the place where you might point to say, I am. This is your heart center. And see, feel, or imagine your heart center as a warm, bright light radiating from the center of you. You're welcome if you're so inclined to put your hand over your heart. Just tuning in to this space for a moment. This place of I am. This space is the light of your awareness. And imagine this radiance of your inner light increasing with each breath in through the nose. Noticing for a moment what it feels like to expand your radiance, your gentle and shining heart. Perhaps noticing what emotions arise for you as you tune into this heart space. You're welcome to place your hand back in your lap or at your side and begin to invite some questions. And don't worry about finding an answer, whether an answer meets the question. It might. Simply notice what arises. The first question is, who am I? Who am I? Without words, without thoughts or stories, ask yourself a few times, who am I? This one looking through my eyes. And then return to the stillness. And letting that question go. And asking yourself now, what do I long for? Perhaps another way of asking yourself the question is, what do I really, really want? And ask yourself a few times, and then release the question and return to the stillness. Don't force anything to arise. Simply sit with the question, allowing the stillness. Returning your attention now to the breath, noticing how it enters and how it leaves the body, not trying to change it in any way. Becoming mindful of the sensations and the movement of the breath. Noticing what it feels like for the body to be breathed, for the body to have life. I'll introduce a mantra now. That can be repeated silently along with the breath if you're so inclined. And on the inhale, the mantra is hum, H-A-M, hum. And on the exhale, the mantra is sa, S-A-H, sa. Hum on the inhale, sa on the exhale. I am that. And repeating the mantra silently, no need to move your tongue or lips. Hum, sa. And the repetition of this mantra is very gentle, almost like an internal chant. And I'll keep track of the time as we sit together in silence, gently repeating the mantra. If you notice your mind has wandered, simply return your attention to the mantra, hum, sa. Now release the mantra and sit in stillness for a couple more moments. I'll keep track of the time. I'd like to close our meditation today with a poem by Dorothy Hunt. Do you think peace requires an end to war, or tigers eating only vegetables? Does peace require an absence from your boss, your spouse, yourself? Do you think peace will come some other place than here, some other time than now, in some other heart than yours? Peace in this moment without judgment, that is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace in this moment without judgment, this moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. So when you're ready, you're welcome to bring some gentle movement back into the body. Perhaps wiggling the toes or the fingers, stretching into the space around you. Taking a moment to tune into the sounds around you. And gradually becoming aware of your body and the sounds and the sights when you're ready to open your eyes. Perhaps noticing if anything has shifted for you through the meditation. If you had any movements of emotions, movements of the mind, movements of the body. I want to thank you so much for meditating with me today, for joining me in this stillness. If you're so inclined to bring your hands together, thumb knuckles against your breastbone, I welcome you to do that now. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. I'll see you next time.